After we finish working on the little finger, we're going to come into the thumb, work on the wrist. We can interlock the fingers with the receiver's fingers and hold at the wrist, just above the wrist. That lets us do a rotation of the wrist, working in both directions. Then we can stretch backwards. And stretch backwards a couple of times. And then we can stretch forwards. And forwards. And then we'll sit back a little bit, straighten the arm out, and we can open up the back of the hand with the heels of our hands. Starting at the wrist, just spreading across. And if we want to, we can actually work along the back of the hand with the thumb. Between the spaces this time of the metacarpal bones of the hand. Down to the spaces between the fingers. And we can repeat that. And then the last thing we can do is press into this point, large intestine 4, between the index finger and the thumb, in this part of the web of the hand. We can hold that for a few moments. And then we can put the palm facing downwards so that we can do some work on the back of the arm. And I'm going to hold the mother hand in position over the hand and wrist, and I'm going to palm up along the back of the arm up to the shoulder. Come into a better position here, so my heart is facing it. Again, squeezing, or as if you're going to squeeze, but you're leaning in with the palm of your hand and just up to the shoulder. And we do that 3 times. We can then do a rotation and a stretch. So we get into position here and hold at the wrist. This hand supporting around the front of the shoulder. And do a little loosening of the shoulder. And then rotate the shoulder, stretching up, sitting back, stretching forward, sitting back, stretching forward. And then I want to come up to stretch, so I want to put this knee down onto the floor, swivel around, ask the receiver to breathe in, and I'm going to stretch along one side. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Let's move around to the other side, put that knee down. I'm going to reach down and draw up the other arm. I'm going to do a double stretch this time. And a number of ways to hold at the wrist. A good way is to ask the receiver to hold on to your arms like this. Just come into a kneeling position, ask the receiver to breathe in. Out breath, lean back. In breath, out breath. Then we can put that arm down. We're going to transition to the other side. So we're going to bring that knee up, put that knee down, swivel around to this position. And I'm ready to start and work on this arm. I'm going to do the whole routine again on this arm. That will finish with the stretch like this, and we can reach down and do the double stretch again, holding like this, stretching. So you want to get back to this position before we move on. Put both arms down, and then we can just open the front of the chest, putting the heels of the hand into the front of the shoulders. Receiver breathes in, and out breath we just lean in and stretch the chest open. Breathing in and breathing out. And we do that 3 times. Then we're going to work on top of the shoulder, so I can work on this side. Bring my supporting knee up. I'm going to work along the trapezius on the top of the shoulder here. Just with the thumb leaning in. Hard to see, but I'm working right out across the trapezius muscle on the top of the shoulder. Put that knee down, bring the other knee up, and repeat it on this side. So we're working behind the collarbone on the big muscle. Okay, that's that. I'm going to come in to do some work on the neck finally and the head to finish off. I'm just going to move the hair out of the way because I want to do a little stretch for the neck. I'm going to come up into this position again. So it's good if I'm over the receiver, fingers come around the back of the neck, and I lift up, stretch back and release. Lift up, stretch back and release. So the move comes one movement, and break it down into 3, lift, stretch, release. And keep this position, and turn the head to the side, and I'm going to work from this point. This is the mastoid bone here behind the ear. There's a little depression just in here below the mastoid, and my fingers are tucked in underneath, and with my thumb I'm going to work down along the side of the neck. So if the head was straight, it would be the side of the neck. It's really this that I'm doing. But I can turn the head so I can open the neck up more. And again, I'm just leaning in. And this knee and leg is giving my arm good support. Working right down to the bottom of the neck, almost as far as the collarbone. And I can repeat that 2 or 3 times, at least 3 times actually. Then we can find the same point behind the mastoid, just below the mastoid, and this time I'm going to work underneath. The bone runs this direction, horizontally. My thumb comes in underneath the bone. The occipital ridge, it is called, the occipital ridge. I work underneath the ridge, round as far as I can, 2 or 3 times along this ridge. It's just running along there. So we're working down the neck and across the ridge. I'm going to turn the head back to the middle, and my other knee up. Turn the knee to the other side. If you want to, you can support the head underneath. Some people prefer to hold the head. It might let you get in a little bit more with your fingers underneath. So I was doing it from this side again. I would be holding the head rather than letting it lie flat. You can ask the receiver which they prefer, and which you prefer as well. So if I'm doing it like this, it means my fingers can come on underneath. Make sure the head is well supported in your hand if you're doing it. This knee should be up for this one. And the same for underneath then. I'm just going to come and bring my position around a little bit so I can get underneath as much as I can underneath the ridge here. So we do the neck on both sides, and we come in finally. We're going to do some work on the head, and we're going to start with one thumb on top of the other. We're going to work our midline from the hairline round as far to the crown of the head, and we're just going to lean in along the midline, governing channel. We can do that 3 times. Then we separate the thumbs to work along the bladder meridian, starting here and comes about an inch or so each side of the midline, roughly the inside of the eyebrow line. But we're going to take it from here, from the hairline, we're going to work back. Back as far as we can go. Bring one thumb up, other thumb up, and I will repeat that. We can even do a third line, which is roughly running in line with the center of the eyebrow. And again, working the whole way back as far as we can. Do that 3 times, then we're going to use the fingers to massage in the back of the head area and the side of the head. Just doing little small rotational movements with the fingers. The thumbs are supporting this time. Working all the way around the side of the head towards the back of the head. And that part of the head that we haven't done yet. Coming up towards the temples now. Working up towards the temples here. Coming on to the temples. Working on the temples. Nice and slowly. Then we're going to work the forehead, one thumb over the other, along the central channel. As far as the hairline. I'm going to repeat that 3 times. Then we can do our bladder channel. And this second channel in line with the middle of the eyebrows. And to finish, we can just smooth out across the front of the head. And just sweep back with thumbs and pull the hair. And finish. That's the supine position for the Japanese massage course.